things. We live in a country, a deputy minister, for 20,000 Ghana cedis. No, they are two car boots. I make any car trunk. No, they are question car washing bay. Nasi can be ayra. No, call police station, call your report. Police for besides, I would discard a coin or somebody could do. We have phone call.
And you see, people we have placed in leadership position. Sometimes
more. Oh, former State Housing Corporation penny or Dano. Now every month, the lunch sika 100,000. Oya ponko.
Oh my gosh.
Now the phone bills 33,000 Ghana cedis. Phone bill.
I don't call center.
I'm afraid of Busana or say I am from Swan or ye call India, any Japan. Now Oja phone no to office, no coffee, mobile phone.
And you're not correct. Yeah.
And a year car at that home. We live in a country that $14.8 million. A charter flight the tomb from here to Brazil. Now plane in Landia. Na government no Brazil at 30%. Na Ghana buy it me hunyansa and the remaining 30% no ato card so they are small business anfako.
Hey.
What if I want to add 3?
Okay, add then I will continue.
Right. Until when this same country are buying auditor, catching saying in 2020, 12.8 billion Ghana cedis a year. Into mean traces as
that's right.
No problem. 2021, start buying auditor na catching say 2021 17.5 billion Ghana cedis a year.
2022.
I know they entering, but yet on my move when I catch say a buying account at GCB Bank. I say 52 billion Ghana cedis was transferred to some unknown account. It is Ghana share. And we are in this country.
Number 3 no. Yet your Maya Black Star socks are one of the ball every Kofi was on the TV. Socks now must share the ball match in the way, you know. You see at the $150,000 and a laundry leche, so basic socks and the one year jerseys no. One more year, which we not play the move about Ghana. Nah. Socks over here see your real feet, your jaw laundry ho.
See, Captain.
What's a captain?
No, yeah.
What's it on Maya? We never brand no J bottom allowance.
150 Ghana cedis.
150 Ghana cedis a month. Bottoms allowance. Now I J belt hook. Belt hook allowance.
Kilometer allowance.
No, I J belt hook allowance.
This kind of joke.
Ma'am. Hey, what's your name? You see, minister, newspapers are all kind. What kind of 6 months? 200,000 Ghana cedis. But you be saying real. Na Ghana, they are quiet. What's your maya? Auctioneer. Buy a jack cars, pickups and me and some man who say auction. Na first Ghana bra. Or say, while auction cars the menu and a car back home. But car na car, you know, he'll be a man to the atoso.
Wait.
Oh my God. Now what to be what's the public accounts committee? No, say to is human.
God will judge you.
Now, Yejano, we live in a country, office of the president.
Fellow Ghanaians.
I fear the nipa wo doors no. Odi 1.1 billion. I fear nipa wo no swate no. The same office at 3.7 billion Ghana cedis neko. Office of the president. No, we live in a country. Sika ya dia ye water what Germany na. Of over 800,000 kilometers no. And the same amount of money. And yet, 70,000 kilometers of Wejuma. Oh, no, please, oh, please.
Bibini and the power.
No. I mean, Wontumi.
Captain, on that in some of our leadership crisis.
Are you?
Because say a tyranno pro our soroha, they are useless. Because I'm saying to me build a proper leadership at the top. I obey to me, am I that kind of direction? I obey to me, am I or mine who they are all corner. Say ya and some no cast a walk can overcome the action and start and mistakes, you know, all other countries have mistakes, you see. You learn from your mistake and then you rise again and even become stronger. But Ghana, no mistake this year, we are likely to repeat the mistake sevenfold. We don't learn anything and consistently we keep falling. Leadership, because until say going forward, no, we need to place intelligent people with vision. Among for Sabi, you can leadership, leadership, or what here. Now, party. And some year Abaho, Kumasi, Oka Wontumi as about the same and characters like this. It me get access to frontline politics. Because I would say Kassan and some or sometimes or Kasasa crap. Like sometimes you begin to wonder how these people got access to frontline politics in Ghana. And me say mane nyo nwa. Omone na ne mu say ya no few years to come, no, the person will tell you, I want to be president. Because president has become so cheap, say any person at all can just pop up and say, I want to be president. Because it doesn't take much to be president in Africa. It doesn't take much to be president in our part of the world. So these characters, you know, you see, now that people were blaming him, say, or disrespect you too for them as for. I didn't see so disrespect you too for. Nipa onim nyansa say oya dia he doesn't even realize say ade na oya na eheti obi a onim nyansa oya dia he doesn't even realize say ade na oya no ewo some unintended consequences are ever resulted in the buy no, because this is a guy who goes to venting his frustration or whatever, and he's telling people say in Kumasi no he has an army. I am telling you, say Ghana is a serious country and can pick no. Because it is against the law to set an army. Ghana has set up an army. Even private security, see what they did. Yes. Private security can set it up. You need to go for authorization from your friends, the ministry, and son what you set it up. So this is a guy telling you, say, your friend say, I want a private army, and I say, I want the military, I want the kingdom, and I say, for if we are to take in some now, can you see the first thing is for him to be picked by the security. Now you miss baby security, because we've gone into an election, sir. Yahu among for soldier for Asabi, or mobile among for in a way people nipantias here. So those people know were they part of Wontumi's so-called military are now come. These are issues we really need to investigate. But Makacho said, baby no characters like that, you know, I say you first we really need to be very reasonable. Now and Shasi identify those people and say they have no space in our politics. Those characters have no space because consistently threaten our cohesion, threaten our political stability, threaten your democracy, because obetimeko kan sembi asabi e de oyenene na se for mind ko betimi atu your friend saying abaye de o pesa o kan enyeye. And now Kumasi, look at that property that Santi Youth or MPP, and they want to me back and forth. Some we could have used that particular time to discuss something very productive, but we are wasting time on some of these issues. Asabi and for so all because Obiako being an Akoka Asama Sabinansa anima, and these are people we proud to say among leaders and such. Just imagine you go to a cabinet meeting and answer any important meeting of the party, and characters like that are there. Taking initiative for Yedi or Mino Ebebu, and on the other side, the president himself doesn't even give a damn about it, because the last time I say Kumfi chiefs, the president was bold enough to look them in their faces and told them, "May ignore me because man for Obama." Yes, so that is a very infantile and childish comment to make. And such comment must not come from a president, because as a president, you know, you are president of all, irrespective of who voted for you or who didn't. Once our president, who cares who voted for you or who didn't vote for you? Because taxes are not, you know. Nkrofona also win the development more taxes can home. National cake, they are part of it. And you have every right to ensure, so who disperse the cake, now these people know the entitlement, they must get it. But to a point, a president will open his mouth and say, it tells you the kind of vindictive person he is. the kind of orientation or what it is the Flagstaff House, and such a person our supervisor or minor they yet media to form one because the mentality, the psyche and the thinking of the president and young woman moody some take a gun of quantity and some because he's telling you say one to about manner development there, and some of these things you take it with a pinch where because Okotina Kwame Sefa can show you so an interview about vote achieve will be for development. You saw the kind of cheeky way on the man. So that is his nature. Oko Kumase Ashanti region, all the regions baby only the vote to free. Baby ana kwaku temba no one from saying kwabre. So how no munyo vote in free. A whole road and journalists will be saying nana people are complaining say one man may kwan or say vote on kokromotini ya there e duru hona on to aba paawe. That is the comment from the president. One to aba man on fa. So you see, when you put people like this in leadership position, you do not expect your mind. That is why I keep telling people, say, we are not victims, we are sponsors and accomplices of this theft regime. Boy. They say we are not, nobody is a victim. We are all sponsors and accomplices. And I yet has say because yet I give you life to this particular thing because you can't eat your cake and have it. You can't go and vote for somebody and say you will not expect the consequences to come because Bakacho say we are very emotional people. Yan shasiam for yitia men na ye koso de yakoma edwen na ye very emotional na me party nie na me party nie na ye begin anhwe nipa no mu anhu nipa sabi owo nimdia ye dibu o man na political power. Me say the most dangerous thing to do our assassin way so is to arm a fool with political power. So who arm a fool with the political power would me say well because that is the kind of idea play out to Kumase. To me, look at the guy today. He has a political power. And he can just sit down and tell you, say, I have my own army, I have my kingdom, then as a forum. Hopefully, UK buy another Kumasa. Could he to make that particular comment? But today, people have armed him with power. And we have characters like that a lot over the years. We've been arming a lot of fools with political power. We have made them very powerful. And when a fool gets political power, they use it to terrorize the very people who gave them the power. So at the end of the day, you see you as a victims. But I'm saying, we are not victims. We are sponsors. And we deserve what is happening to us. Until say about who said there is the need for us to learn from this. And because of the SC, and sorry, also for President Daddy. Every character pops up anywhere and says, I want to be president. But the thing is, the presidency is so cheap, say, Obia bet me a captain. In the real leadership sense. If you're looking for somebody to lead, there are certain basic characteristics that you need to look at for. The last time maker, the key one, empathy. As a president, you have to be very empathetic. Place humanity at the center of leadership.
Exactly.
Because I don't make you say Ghana for 2 UK. You quite see care no more kind. Go and look at Nipo Momo. This some are imbeciles. I said almost name for so as you also. Those people have no productive output for mining as for, but government, are spending a fortune importing people from Africa to go and take care of an imbecile people who cannot do anything. I didn't do yes, sir, because they know, sir. As a government, they have a duty to take care of humanity. These people are vulnerable people. They deserve to be taken care of. But you have no, why are you healthy? Who cares about you? Why are you healthy? No. Go to the traffic and go and see young ladies in their, your friends say, you have an energetic stage across the Chino Tom Piota. They have no future. And we sit here, you talk cars, I can see. Cars are sabi US senators sentiment and a imported back room as an enemy who said I will show cars be I will say a man for imported back room. I say these are very expensive cars. We have a refined taste for some of these things. Like our people are suffering. So Mekato say Nyankopon is not coming to save any food because God doesn't have time for fools. Until say we are the only people who can save ourselves, Nobody is coming to save us. Yet, these people will continue to take advantage of us. And at the end of the day, if we say we are victims of social media, people are screaming there. Nobody should scream because we are all part of this. We are going to suffer until see answer because so when you answer, you continue to suffer. Because about the saying on my team, we keep telling ourselves that we have all the resources. Now, and now, Western Regional Chiefs, Ajiatum said, your friend is saying, lithium deal is okay.
No. I have for this one can
But it's on the front page. Okay.
I have for this one.
Then it's better.
Man was Central Region over the weekend.
Okay.
I spoke to about 13 paramount chiefs.
Okay.
When we say no money penny for ne buy and kind. When we say one agreement in the Juma. Not the one should say man for what one find shame answer.
Okay, then I'm taking you by your words because that is all that we are asking for.
Yeah, yesterday I said it.
I dare benefiting the people because lithium now a boy you be creating new mama for in the because that is the new way. But Captain Vakacha said until say you be place nipa said we are more drain quite two leadership position I'm a principal. The last time I was telling somebody say, who do you think is the richest person ever to have lived on this planet called Ghana? I'm for a body we saw back on farms and then as for me said that on body, you know, I didn't tell what the farms is also because be a it is not about cash, it is not about money, it is about the character then as for so Nkrumah happens to be the richest person ever to have lived because I'm not say Nkrumah at a plot will be a dream when you wake up in the morning, the guy is in your brain, whether you like it or not. The guy has bought your friends say every political book Africa the front page he's there. Talk about politics in Africa. That is how rich the guy was. So isn't about men must die our easily gone. Men real estate. Men say so. Don't come and tell people say you have made money and for that matter people should make you a leader. Are you mad? Who says leadership and money they are two different things altogether? Because US and financiers no more financing those political parties. You know they could have gone down and say I want to lead. Now US and Joe Biden be president. And I said Donald Trump no yes o sika there but ono no sika cry saying Elon Musk will be there wanting to be president. US and the Mercer family is not the Mercer family or the sponsor the Republican Party or then the Biden as a foreign they could have come as over the years you sign a check you know but you see you look for somebody with their weight very intelligent somebody our vision I will support that particular vision nipa our certain basic characteristics the vision the person is trustworthy our prove says nipa way you can rely on that particular person our vision and that vision you know deliver long-term goal a very yes the empathy is the first thing empathy and that is what our leaders don't have there nankaba na say nankisila da paba $1 million one them na ne servant be kwaku bi it's something that we need to sit down and dissect because to have $1 million in your room which means that you have a lot of cash in your place and if you are good to your people they will not steal from you but opa tenhana ye survey every politician be and to better and nimbe guasi bia no nipa omodo omo ho nsemba for and then the cook and then the security and then the security and then the driver because these people in their homes they treat them like shit. They don't care but they forget that their lives depend on your driver. Your entire life depend on your cook. Your entire life depend on your security. But go and look at the way even some of these people even talk to their drivers, they talk to their security, they talk to their cook. To them, no, they see them as an inferior people because they don't care. Humanity, you know, and idea party, you know, they don't have it because at the end of the 2 minutes we are. So sorry, training per console. That is what I was telling you, say, black man. Your orientation about power, no, isn't about say meba. Now I create space every year, need our potential, but we after your potential. No, meba be do so what now someone who say, "Man, I'm your boss," you know. That's right.
Now my do somewhat do see, na say be ukoda wakaime, upe be na for phone na frebe. That is the kind of leadership I want. But abrochile na say for no, I think say. They have created an environment if you are willing to work, even though I'm for but if you are willing to work, you make money. You don't rely on anybody. But the people are willing to work, but you can't even get a job to do. Nobody is willing. So be a Sikano and these same sick people are yet from high will go on radio, on TV, on social media, and we are defending. Sometimes we are even defending people you don't even know, people you have never even met, people who don't even care about you, people who don't even know you exist. These people they force sake of an passport up to our no ne buy area to our no now what's here call the book you can't even access health care. You sit and emotionally defending these nasty things. I am saying say obi and time obi but we want to build an equitable society where people have access and I say nepa betimi I incentivize the kind of way never you know say we obi betimi dey maximize
the potential wonimu because yet here obia won the potential whether nipa no go school and as one go school whether the person is sick or not well whether the person is educated obia won the potential but as of minor you have to build the platform say ya obia kakra bi obia no ebetime pede nipa no e dey cost but consistently Africa look at the youth population that we have always nothing better is coming out of it because we are youth to Africa we are useless these people that is why they risk their life all the way to Middle East. Look at a lot of young ladies. Omoko Dubai and Asafonum. Yeah, no more. There is no life at that particular place because any industrial world, people go into servitude, modern day slavery. That is what people are selling people to. Agents government is aware. They come on TV, they advertise because young we allow them to advertise these things. Then they send people to slavery. Go to Libya. I'm for why? Because there is no life in their country. Our leaders are living lavishly. Why can't we say to ourselves, enough is enough? This is the time I said, young build a platform, young people being alive. Captain, me say, yeah, and everything as a way. Say, young society any emotions and free brand bebre.
Right, Captain. There was an English writer, a friend of George Orwell, a Troy book be a friend of Animal Farm, and there's another book of Troy, a friend in 1984. Now, so person who the ecosystems here in Ghana and the world in general know. If you read those books, you see exactly what is happening. Now, Okansembi, say one of his greatest fear, and he said, it will get to a point where books will be banned. And there was another writer, a friend in Aldous Huxley. About or say, oh no, and yes, sir, he's afraid, sir, they will ban books. But he's afraid, sir, there will be too many books, but people will not read.
There will be too many books,
but people will not read. Yes. Sure. George Orwell said the truth. His fear is that the truth will be suppressed. Aldous Huxley out because his fear is that not that the truth will be suppressed, but that there will be too much truth that will be lost in irrelevance. Say, you better nonsense afra. No, it's who say we need to. Yes. These are two very sharp minds who spoke about what they see the future to be like. And Captain Zosha and then everything is playing out the way it's supposed to be. George Orwell said one other thing. Was say you can't tyranny. You find so-called civil libertarians and now you find liberals. No, they are very quick to point out tyranny and say this is a tyrant. This is wrong. This is wrong. But they don't take into consideration say. Human beings have an infinite appetite for distractions. I'll give a clear example. Captain, on the 27th of December 2023, it was a Wednesday, at 2 a.m. in the morning, Parliament sat and passed 5 new tax bills. They approved the appropriation bill that gave government a spending power of over 250 billion cedis. You know what Ghanaians were doing at that time? Now you're chilling, now you're pop. Yes. No more papi. People were having fun.
Prophecy. 31st night.
People were having fun. People were following some ton things. Yes. Whether it's the cookathon, the singathon, everything ton. People were following those things. Till date, Ghanaians don't even know, sir, these are the things that we are under and that these laws have been passed. They've come into effect. Are you aware, sir, West Africa Pipeline have given an ultimatum, sir, on the 28th of January, that is just a few days away, on more so-called regulatory tests on the pipeline until shut it down regularly from 28th. What it means is that we are going to have doom so. Yes, that is what it is. But how many Ghanaians know about these things? But everybody's mind is on Black Stars going to play some match somewhere and they didn't perform. I saw someone throwing tantrums on the screen. Say, so he's throwing his hands about say Nibuefu. Such madness. Is he aware? Said they're going to shut down the pipeline, which means we're going to have constant electricity supply from 28th January. Is he aware? This is what Huxley was talking about. So we have an infinite appetite for distractions. And see, human beings naturally don't want to face responsibility. And see, anything that will take our minds away from responsibility, we jump there. Now, if we're going to face our responsibilities as citizens, what is the number one responsibility of any citizen in any country? Is that you hold your elected representatives to account. Which means you have to follow everything they do and make sure that they all that's exactly what they do, which is responsibility. But because we don't want to face our responsibilities, no, we act as if we don't care. And see, anything that happens is as if you're 5 new taxes have been passed. VAT has been increased. VAT applies to every single commodity that you use. Pure water is affected by tax and by VAT. Fuel prices are affected by VAT. And see, once VAT goes up, everything is affected. That is one. Now, mind you, VAT is on petroleum products as well. I'm introducing another bill called the emissions tax, which is going to be specifically on petroleum products. Which means after which you have VAT on petrol, diesel, you pay an additional tax from emissions tax on that. And if petrol prices affect everything in the country, you are going to have a double increase on fuel prices. What is that going to do to people? But what are Ghanaians focusing about? About some useless football team performing somewhere. That's what we are focusing about. But nobody's having the real issues. Like you said, we deserve everything we are getting because we're not victims, we are accomplices. Because if we were serious citizens, we would have taken responsibility of making sure that those we've put in power will do exactly what they've been put in there to do. What is even annoying is you go on to have this conversation with people. People are gearing up when party colors say, yeah, in December. And you ask them, on what issues are we going to vote? Say, are you not aware that it is MPP and NDC that are in parliament that pass these 5 new taxes? What did the so-called opposition do in there? Now, if you don't understand this thing, say MPP and NDC are the same, let me explain this thing to you. Will NDC MPs in parliament, you know, on salaries, everything is going to be paid from a buying budget. It is from the budget called parliament, and they make all the noise about it. Understand, say, the opposition members of parliament will have all their salaries paid from that same budget. Or more allowances will come from the same budget. The V8 cars and all those things that they've been driving will come from that same budget. And when they come out and tell you, say, the budget is too that, government has borrowed too much, they are the same beneficiaries of all those borrowed monies. Now it's time for you to wise up and stop being a fool. So you are following party colors. We are an MPP, NDC. They're the very same people who are breaking this country. But you have people wearing their colors going out to support them. Left to me alone, I wish we would beat anyone who wears those party colors. Yes, beat any youth who thinks he's sensible. Let me see you go out to vote for these people or following these people for campaigns and all those things. It means you have no sense. You should be dealt with. Because yes, we're not victims. We come out and support the very same people who are oppressing us, and we act as if we are not aware of what is happening. What kind of a joke is this? And like you said, it has become so cheap that any fool thinks they can wake up and become president. Because of course there's no leadership. Yes, there's no leadership. That is the highest office in the land. And see, if you are a pastor and you call yourself whichever post, right hand to God or whatever it is, you are under the president of the land. So you cannot sit down and allow any fool to occupy that seat, because that fool will be higher than your position. This goes to everybody in the country. And so we should be very careful. I said this thing. People go out and they throw this argument, say, the president has too many powers. And some of the powers of the president. I said, no, that's a very deadly mistake. I'll give an instance. Say, 12-year-old Akola Akufo-Addo and has done something bad with the gun, has shot someone or killed some people. You don't say because Akola Akufo-Addo, we should ban all guns. No. That same gun in the hands of a disciplined, well-trained officer is a very good weapon. So you don't say because a child has had access to that, you take or you ban all guns. No, what you should do is make it very